Alright everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to remove your original steering wheel and install a quick release. This is a quick release slide lock hub. I'm going to do a quick connect type on here. I'm taking this one off, but I'm also going to show you how to do the wiring to make your horn work as well when you do this. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and take this piece off and I'll show you how we're going to do it. Alright, I got you zoomed out here a little bit so we can see a little bit better. This is my OEM stock steering wheel. Of course, I don't have anything hooked up to it right now. It's just for demonstration purposes. So the first thing you're going to do, number one, is you want to make sure your wheels are perfectly aligned straight. Not angled, but you want them perfectly straight. Number two, you want to disconnect the battery. It's the airbag in there. You don't want a tool in your hand and that thing going off. Could be very bad. Alright, now the first thing you're going to do when you get ready to take this apart, after you've got your wheels lined up and the power disconnected, on the sides of your steering wheel, you're going to see two plastic covers, one on each side, like here, and one right there. Pop them little plastic tabs out, and I believe it's a 10mm nut. It's been a while since I've done it. I don't remember for a fact. It's 10, 12, something like that. You'll pull those out, and then when you do, your airbag will slide off, just like that. Well, not just like that. There'll be a bunch of wire and crap like that hooked up. Be a clock spring. This will be run underneath the dash to the airbag. And all that. Just disconnect all that crap. Next, let me see if I can get some light in here. Will be, sorry about that. Let me see if I can zoom you in a little bit. Okay, well right there, it's going to be a 19mm nut. Holds your steering wheel on. Alright, that 19mm nut, you'll take that off with an impact wrench, or ratchet rather. Don't drop it down in the steering wheel like I just did. But once you do, wiggle your steering wheel loose. But your steering wheel may not come off that easy. And it might. You might have to bang on it a little bit. Rubber mallet around the outside edges, pop it towards you. So that's getting the steering wheel out of the way. Next, I've got this little tab right here that I made from a piece from inside of the steering wheel. It's got a lip that folds up and it will touch the back of this, which is your hub adapter. And you'll want to make sure your hub adapter, see where it says top? You want that at the top. You want that dead top, just like that. Alright, but before you do all that, that red wire is going to be hooked to your horn button, which is attached to that ring right there. This wire I have run through the dash to the factory horn wiring. Man, give me a minute and I'll get a screwdriver and get this apart and I'll show you all that. Alright, like I said, this is a little tab I made from a piece off the inside of the steering wheel. It runs, this blue wire runs all the way down here to this factory harness, which was a wire that tapped into the the clock spring wiring. And I just tapped it right there into that, cut the end off, made a tab, put it right there. And all it has to do, just get a little snug, and all it has to do basically is help complete a circuit. And the way you test it, make sure you have the right one. Sorry about that. Anyway, the way you test it, I get my screen to focus again now. Get you a test light. Hook it to the door frame there, and just tap it. It completes the circuit, the horn comes on. You don't have to worry about the light. This is a positive to here, and you're just grounding it out. Alright, give me 1 second, I'll show you what we're going to do next. Alright, next thing you want to do is you want to install your hub adapter. Make sure that'll make it where you can attach your steering wheel directly either to this, or you can attach a quick connect to it. A quick disconnect steering wheel. This is the one that I originally had on here. It's got a little push pin, and you turn it, and then that ring will unlock. It'll twist around the outside, and this ring will have tabs that fit just like that in there. But I'm going to be going with a different one. Give me just a second, and I'll show you the one I'm going to go with. Alright, this is the new one I'm going with. It's got like a quick connect coupler on it. You squeeze on it, and then you'll pull. Kind of hard to do one-handed. And it just locks back in place. But next thing I'm going to do is, of course, I'll mount this to that. But first, you do want to make sure that you get your nut back on in there. And you may have to put some washers or shims in it to make it fit tight. But you do want to make sure you get that nice and tight. I'll go ahead and put my nuts and washers back in there, and go from there. Alright, I got it all back on, and nuts in, washers in. You know, before I said you wanted to disconnect the power from this. You want to disconnect power, that way the airbag didn't go off. Once you have the airbag disconnected, you can go ahead and reconnect your power so you can test your wiring for your horn. Now mine was already, all my wiring was disconnected already on my airbag, so I didn't do that step. But for a safety precaution, you might want to go ahead and do that. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mount this quick release. And then once it's on, I'll show you the next step. Alright, before I get too far ahead of myself, your quick release should have something like this on it. And sometimes that piece is a pain in the butt to get on and off. So what I did was I just took a little bit of sandpaper, Dremel, and just kind of smoothed it out a little bit. That way it could just slide on and off easier. That way I wasn't fighting with it, getting it crooked, knocking it off, and everything like that. It's just really aesthetics, and that's it. But let me go ahead and get this adapter disconnected, and we'll go from there. Alright, what I went ahead and did was I went ahead and mounted the quick attach hub to this inside of the base. On the other side, you'll have two wires, a black and a red. And I just connected them to the prongs on the back of this. And then all I got to do now is I got to mount the receiver portion right here. And then that's all there is to it. I just got to kind of line it up to where this is up where it matches with the fittings on that, more or less. And I'm gonna get this lined up, figured out, and I'll get it hooked up, and I'll show you when I'm done. Alright, I got the new hub quick adapter hooked up, and with this one, it's got 5 slots in the top. On the bottom, it's got like 3, and that's how I have this set up on the back, so it's kind of a quick fit. If I can do this one-handed. Doesn't look like I'm gonna get it one-handed. Let me switch hands. There it is. And well, now the horn don't want to work. Alright, let me figure that out. Alright, so I figured out the horn issue. What it ended up being was the red wire that goes to that piece back here that makes contact with that piece right here that I made. The solder joint had broke. It wasn't making a good connection, so I had to take it back in there and resolder it. And I had to adjust that bracket right here that I made a little bit for to make better contact. And being that this horn button was a 2-wire positive negative setup, I went ahead and made a piece of wire for the ground and grounded it off on the back side of this. So I've got extra ground. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this put back on, and I'll show you when it's done. All right, we got it all back together and set up. Now I still have a little issue with this piece under here. There we go. Hey, that's really all there is to it. Just a little bit of trial and error getting everything together. Quick release. That's how you do it. Any comments, questions, anything like that? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate you watching.